All right, good day, everyone, and welcome to our little preview show for the 2025 Hawaiian Islands presents the Outrigger Big West Women's Volleyball Championship. And one of the teams that's in the championship again this year, 3 years in a row since its inception, we've got Madi Maxwell and Elise Agi of Long Beach State. Thanks for joining me today, ladies.
Thank you
Thanks
for
for
having
having
us.
us.
You know, a remarkable feat since its inception in 2023. Long Beach State has been a participant in uh, each of those Big West championships, and each have had different lineups every single year, and they've been pretty successful. So I wanted to start with the most obvious question, but how do you feel that this year's teams is different from the previous two seasons? And whoever wants to jump in, please feel free.
Yeah, I think we just have such a new group this year. Obviously, we had a ton of seniors last year, a few girls transferred out. So having just a completely new group with, what is it, 10 new people and 8 returners.
Yeah.
So just having that group and having this kind of like fresh start and being able to kind of set our own tone and culture for the year, I think is what has made the difference. And I think we're so young too. And so having kind of all these people come in with their different experiences prior, whether it was club or at a previous school, has made an impact.
How about you, Maddie? What do you need to add down there?
Yeah, I said the same. I mean, I've only been here, this is my second year, but just to jump from last year to this year, yeah, last year was just as amazing, but this year it's a completely new team and new faces. And even with our like 8 returners, like we've had bigger roles in those returners, and the people that have come in have really stepped up into their roles too. And so I think we really mesh really well. And same thing like Elise said with our culture, like we really got to build our culture from the ground up, starting new because a lot of our like returners are either seniors or younger. So just like starting new, building from the ground with our culture and getting to show like the new people what Long Beach is about and what we take pride in.
Well, it's actually a great segue into my next question for you both, and that's how would you best describe your team's dynamic or culture on the court or off the court?
Okay.
Okay.
We are extremely goofy. We like no matter what practice, like sometimes even on the bench in games, like going to get coffee, whatever, is like we just are like one of the goofiest teams you probably will ever meet. And you wouldn't know that unless you were like in our practice, on our bus rides, whatever it is. I think we all like feel extremely comfortable to just completely be ourselves around each other. You know, there's no limitations of like, oh, I don't know if I can be myself. It's like it's just like free flowing and we have a great time. But with that like goofiness, it's also a lot easier for us to lock in together and be competitive because we know when it's time to like shut the goofiness off, be together, be competitive, and like work towards our goal and just continue to be determined always.
Yeah. How about you, Elise?
I completely agree with everything Maddie said. I think like we going back to our culture, like we have established what we wanted our culture to be so early. And like I could go and hang out with any person on this team and like go and grab some coffee or go like do something, which I think is really unique. And I know I like haven't always had that experience on all my teams. So I think that's just like a really unique thing that really ties into the dynamic on the court as well.
Yeah. Well, if you guys could use a word or a phrase to describe your team and this season, what would that be and why?
Goofy for sure is one of them. And then I think team first. Everyone on this team is like so committed to, getting better every single day coming in, especially when we had like all the freshmen and the transfers, like they were so eager to learn. And we run a relatively complicated system of volleyball. And it can be a lot sometimes. So just like the curiosity that they came in with every single day was really, really special.
Yeah.
Yeah, same. And even with the team first, obviously in volleyball with all that, it's also team first outside of volleyball. You know, we protect each other. No matter what is said, it's always like you have another's back. We're very unselfish and in every aspect of life. I think Natalie does a really good job of teaching us this and just putting others before ourselves. And so I think we really try to do that outside of volleyball, not just in the gym. And so it translates from outside or in the gym to outside the gym, just in regular life. So shout out Natalie for that.
Yeah. Now, with this season, what are your guys' thoughts on your team's results and successes so far in 2025? I mean, I was looking at the Big West stats, and Long Beach State is in at least the top half of the leaders, and in most cases, the top three of all the analytics on the Big West stats site.
Mhm.
The Beach has done this with a few different lineups too.
Mhm.
So, what do you feel like this says about your team?
I think it's really special and it just goes to show kind of like the work that we put in every single day in practice. I think we've had our losses here and there, but every single one of them has been a incredible like learning opportunity for us. And we've always talked about, post game and going into the further weeks of just like, the things that we need to work on and what we want to improve on. But I think everything that has happened has been great for us and, what success we could have, going into the Big West tournament.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think like statistical wise, it all comes down to our coaches. They have their individual systems that they each run, Nasiri and Mike and Jordan and Natalie and even JP, they in practice they're assigned with their systems that they mainly work on and they help in every aspect of it. But like we are in those top leaderboards of each statistic because of the work that they put in day in and day out through watching film, finding new things in the pro world and bringing it into our practice, stuff like that. Just finding new stuff for us to try and like really perfecting our system in practice is what it really comes down to. So that when we're in a game, it's like we can play our game, we can play our system, we can lean back on the training that those coaches have worked so hard for us.
Yeah, actually, as we break it down even further from the macro to the micro, we have to look at the individual effort of your team. And I was looking at the Big West Weekly Awards, and it has been a great year for Long Beach State. And let's look at Logan, two players of the week, six freshmen of the weeks. Elise, he had player of the week. Early on, Nico had a defensive player of the week. Maddie, now a three-time setter of the week. Um, when you look at these individual recognitions, what do you credit the success of each of these individuals to?
Yeah, I think, those awards are individual awards, but when I look at them, and I'm sure when a lot of our team looks at them, it's a team award for sure. It's not, Logan is a beast and she is amazing, but she can't do that without the people that are challenging her in practice. And I can't be the setter that I am without people in practice challenge me day in, day out. And stuff like that. And I think so, like those awards are, yes, they're individual and they're shown as individual, but we talk about it as a team. It's like those are team awards and everybody on that team, on our team, those however many awards they are, like every single person on that team deserves that award. And so I think we just talk a lot about that. And like, I mean, man, we have some studs on our team. Like every single one of our 18 girls are studs and could be playing, like any single one of them. And so I think that's just a test to our how deep our roster is and how good everyone is.
So, what's made this team so good in your eyes in 2025 from the player perspective? When you're out there on the court, what's that little X factor that's pushing you guys over the top?
A lot of it is just like the personalities that we have on this team. Like everyone can be themselves and still get the job done. And, we just like, we train what we need to train and practice. And then when it's competition time, like we're locked in and, we're executing. So I think I would say that. But yeah, I think it's just like the individual personalities that we have. And like obviously everyone is so talented. Um, and again, like goes back to that curiosity piece. Like everyone is coming in every single day wanting to learn, wanting to get better, finding the little things to do to improve.
Yeah. Yeah, we also talk about wanting it more, and I think that with this season, every single one of our 18 girls and our entire coaching staff, as well as like our managers and Mitzi, our sports psychologist, we all want it. We want it so bad. And we talk about every single game. It's like we have to want this game more than the other team does. We have to want this point. We have to want this rep more than everyone else does. And that starts in practice. And I think that's what's really driven us to this point in season because this is usually the point in season where you can feel burnout, you're losing motivation, school's hard, you want to be home with your family for break, but I think our drive stems from the fact that we want that Big West Championship so bad, and we want it not only for ourselves, but we want it for each other, and we want it for the seniors, and yeah.
So is it fair to say that your mission statement or motivation is want it more?
Yeah.
Fair.
Because that was one of my questions I had, where usually there's some kind of rallying cry or a hashtag each team kind of gets behind, but it sounds like that's what the Beach is going for this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, we talk a lot about our we say all in and ball out. Like that's been our like line as well. So everyone's just like being bought into what we're doing, and we have a little like board in our locker room that has each of our matches on it. And so after each match we cross off that game, and so we're just kind of looking at the next match, and we're focusing one game at a time. So we're not overlooking anything in the season as well.
Yeah. Well, shifting gears a little bit, gearing more towards the individual players, but who do you feel has made the most improvement this season or really stood out for you here in 2025?
Honestly, I think everybody has made drastic improvements and has shown that, but gosh, if I were to pick, probably Logan.
How could you not?
I know Logan is just absolutely a stud, and it's so incredibly fun watching her do what she's able to do, and then being on the court with her. She just has this like fire and competitiveness to her that is truly one of a kind and very special.
So Long Beach State was the host of year one of the Big West Women's Volleyball Championship, and Elise, that's where you really caught my radar in that. That competition was crazy. You're playing out of your mind. But here in year three of the championship, what does it mean for you to be hosting again in your home arena?
It's truly special. I think our community is really one of a kind, and we talk so much about wanting to like involve them in our like they're the reason why we're able to like do what we do and the to play the way we play, and have the success that we do because they show up for us. And so having the opportunity to just play at home is just like so special, and obviously it helps having that kind of home court advantage, and playing in a place that's familiar to us and that we train and practice in every single day. But no, it's truly incredible, and I'm so grateful and lucky that I get my last year hosting that tournament.
Yeah, how about you, Maddie?
Yeah, the pyramid is just it's another level. Like it's just such a special place and such a sacred place. And I feel like even if it's not your home gym, you walk in and you just kind of get that like special homey feeling. I mean, I playing there, I get that every day. We get to train there every day, which is a huge advantage for us, but that's also not something that we're gonna like ride along with, like we still got to earn everything that we need to. But I don't know, it just like getting to be in our locker room near our families, whoever's still here for Thanksgiving, just stuff like that. I think it's so special. We spend so much time in there in the weight room, in the gym, in the coaches' offices when we're bored. Like we just spend so much time, and I think it'd just be really special to bring it home.
Well, finally, Long Beach State has been a mainstay in the Big West Championship, advancing to the championship match in its inaugural year in 2023 and to the semis last year. How do you like your chances here in 2025?
I'd like to think they're pretty high. I'm telling everyone we're winning.
It's the mindset.
It is the mindset. But I think, I mean, our coaches have stressed this to us, especially like in the last couple of weeks, but like we're, at a point where we're trying to peak in those like last three matches and further. So we're really honing in on specific things in practice to make sure that we are peaking in those games. And with just like seeing the amount of improvement that we've had in the last couple of weeks, given that it's like the end of season and like, everyone's tired and, we have our own things going on, but just being able to kind of be where we're at right now is really special. And I'd like to say that our chances are pretty high.
Anything else to add, Maddie?
Yeah, I agree, and we want it more. That's about it. Our saying, we gotta want it, and I think we do. And this weekend's gonna be really special too. We got to travel everyone to Hawaii, which is another tests to just like how special our team is the fact that we get to do that. And we're really, really freaking excited.
Well, maybe it'll be a superwoman senior in Elise Agi stepping up to kick it into gear here at the Big West Championships. So with that, be sure to watch the Hawaiian Islands presents the Outrigger Big West Women's Volleyball Championship at the Walter Pyramid in Long Beach, or watch on all the matches on ESPN Plus with Haley Harward and I on November 26th, 28th, and 29th. And with that, Elise Agi of Long Beach State, along with setter Madi Maxwell. Thanks for joining me tonight.
Thank you so much.